Portland will be the 18th team in Major League Soccer.
It's the City of Portland's championship.
It is great to be home.
Sports Sunday with Orlando Sanchez.
Woo! What is good, everyone? Welcome to Sports Sunday. My name is Orlando Sanchez, and we are doing this thing from home. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's have a little bit of fun tonight on this one. And we kick off the show in the NFL. This is supposed to be a big week for sports. The rookies reporting to their NFL camps before camps fully open on July 28th. Again, that's what's supposed to happen. But if you were on social media today, you saw the hashtag. Players like J.J. Watt and MVP Patrick Mahomes were tweeting out, "We want to play." But they have a lot of safety concerns about keeping themselves and their families safe amid the coronavirus pandemic. And Seahawks fans, this is the one you want to pay attention to. Russell Wilson tweeting, "I am concerned. My wife is pregnant and there's still no clear plan on player health and family safety." Right now, the NFL says it is negotiating with the players union. This will be a week of wait and see. The NFL has already canceled 2 weeks of the preseason as a safety measure.
I'm going to tell you this. If the Portland Trail Blazers get in the playoffs, they will beat the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round.
Oh, I know Rip City's got to be loving the Charles Barkley treatment. Or is that bad luck when Barkley says something good about the Trailblazers? Either way, he said it, and that's bringing a hope to the Portland Trailblazers, but they've got a lot of work to do if they want to make the playoffs. They're already 1 week in to the NBA bubble, and they are getting work done inside there. Their first game is July 31st against the Memphis Grizzlies. But this week, they'll start playing scrimmages against other teams. The first scrimmage, Thursday, July 23rd, against the Indiana Pacers. All of the games will be televised on NBC Sports Northwest. The top storyline continues to be the return of starters Yusuf Nurkic and Zach Collins. The Blazers will be much bigger than they were the last time that we saw them play. They also have Hassan Whiteside in the mix. He says he doesn't know how his playing time will be impacted. This will be a different team.
Excited that them guys back. You know, we got a lot more size down there. We switched up the defense a lot. And I told him it's a lot different down there, man. I got to actually pump fake in practice.
It's a block party. Now, everybody is talking about the appearance of Carmelo Anthony. He wouldn't give us the secret, but said it was an intense and healthy diet for the past few months. He said he only lost about 5 pounds, but redistributed the weight and he cut some fat. Anthony said it was a big motivation once he found out he would be playing more of the small forward position. He said he feels good, he's healthy and confident. Melo says he hasn't weighed in the 230, 235 pound range since early in his career. Some are calling this man Skinny Melo.
I'll take it as a compliment. I'll take it as a testament to the work that I've been able to put in and just the extreme focus that I've had over these past couple of months. So I'll take every summer is a different name for me. It's this summer Skinny Melo, is Hoodie Melo, is USA Melo, is so many different Melos out there. But at the end of the day, I'm me. You know, I knew how important this was for us coming back and how locked in we had to be.
I know NBA fans are pumped to have Melo in the bubble. All right, let's kick it for just a minute. How about those Portland Thorns serving up one of the biggest upsets of the weekend?
Westfall for Rodriguez. Rodriguez cuts this across! Portland scores! Weaver!
Woo! first goal of her professional career. How about that? Washington State Cougar Morgan Weaver finding the back of the net to knock out top-seeded North Carolina in the quarterfinals of the NWSL Challenge Cup. That was impressive, but the star of the show was Britt Eckerstrom. The Thorns' third-string goalkeeper played the match of her life. She had not played a minute since August of 2019. Eckerstrom had 8 saves, shutting out the league's best team and advancing to the semifinals with a 1-0 victory.
Feels pretty good. This is when it counted, and we put the goal in the back of the net this time, so we get to move on and keep this journey going.
We don't want to lose, so we want to stay here in the bubble, so I think everyone raised their level completely, and it really showed today. Britt, she did an amazing job. I mean, so many other players, and I'm really happy and excited to continue and for the semifinals.
So the Thorns face Houston on Wednesday morning in the semifinals. According to the CBS broadcast, the Thorns were plus 900 underdogs. So a $100 bet would have earned you $900. Crazy. And the site 538 Sports gave Portland a 10% chance of winning the tournament. Now, they are tied for the best odds. Wow. All right, how about the Portland Timbers now? They couldn't have asked for a much better start to the MLS is Back tournament at the Disney World Resort. Yeah, the same spot where the NBA is doing their thing. The Timbers are 2 for 2 so far, winning both of their matches. The latest coming against Houston this weekend. No fans at these games, but it hasn't seemed to bother the Timbers. They beat the Houston Dynamo 2-1. Jeremy Ebobisse has scored in both matches. This one was perfect. I mean, just past the goalkeeper's fingertips, giving Portland a 1-0 advantage. We move along to the second half, and how about that, man? Diego Valeri, he went to work, giving the Timbers some insurance in the 61st minute. The win guarantees more soccer for those Portland Timbers. The team is grateful to be playing again, clinching a spot in the knockout round of this tournament.
That 2 months ago we were locked in our houses, looking to come and play soccer, looking to a competition like this, and we had to remember that. We cannot forget where we were, a couple of months ago. So for us, it's important when we step on the field, we have to appreciate every single minute that we have on the field.
We didn't have a perfect start to the season with 1 win and 1 loss, and maybe not playing as well as we could have. But this past quarantine break, everyone's been real serious, and we've regrouped, and I think that that's shown in the first 2 games.
They're on to the Sweet 16, but the Timbers still have one more match in the group stage against LAFC on Thursday. All right, I haven't upset the neighbors too much. I haven't gotten that phone call yet, so let's keep this party going. Much more Sports Sunday ahead. The Major League Baseball season just days away. Even longer if you're in Canada. The Canadian government won't let the Blue Jays play in their home ballpark. Meantime, how local high schoolers are trying to get ready for fall sports. Art Edwards talks to players and coaches trying to stay safe. And later, just because you're inside the bubble, it doesn't mean you can't have a little fun. Some of the most interesting stuff we've seen coming out of the NBA bubble. Stick around. And welcome back to Sports Sunday. Major League Baseball is about a week away from getting the season going again, but there won't be baseball in Canada. Listen to this. The Toronto Blue Jays will not be allowed to play at Rogers Centre because of COVID-19. The Canadian government is concerned about players and teams moving back and forth across the U.S. border and multiple locations. The Blue Jays are looking at alternative home fields, including nearby Buffalo, New York, or their spring training facility in Florida. The massive rainstorm in Western Canada has flooded one of the arenas the NHL will use when it resumes play in August. The Rogers Place in Edmonton was hit by a massive rainstorm on Thursday night. The Edmonton Oilers confirmed that the building was damaged, but that it will be ready for hockey to start on August 1st. The NHL is using Edmonton and Toronto as hub cities for 24 playoff teams to finish up the season. These are the last images we have from high school football in our area. Central Catholic and Camas, both winning state championships, one in Oregon, one in Washington. So when will we see them defend those championships? That's a good question. And Art Edwards looks at what teams are doing to get ready for the fall.
Athletes and coaches look forward to getting back to competition. In the Salem-Keizer School District, schools have reopened athletic facilities. At McNary High School, that means players and coaches are working together.
All of our activities are outside. So our girls basketball team is doing some conditioning on the track, doing some things. They'll be in an outdoor asphalt courts.
Marion County is in phase 2 of reopening, and schools are following guidelines set out by the state closely.
It requires that our student athletes at this time aren't closer than 6 feet apart. It means that our coaches are wearing masks at all times, and that our student athletes are encouraged to wear masks, but it's not a requirement.
It's not smooth sailing across the state. Lake Ridge High's athletic director says they've decided to postpone conditioning workouts and practices for football until Clackamas County enters phase 2 of reopening. E4 Sports held a speed and agility workout at Lake Ridge on July 9th for about a dozen athletes from Lake Ridge and several other schools. One of them later found out he had been exposed to COVID-19 and tested positive. I talked with E4 Sports today. They notified families of all the athletes involved. In Newburgh, 8 people associated with the youth baseball team tested positive for COVID-19 earlier this month. They had been part of a baseball tournament in Roseburg. The OSAA is trying to get a handle on what will happen this fall with students and the activities they participate in.
Because we do believe it's just incredibly important to be able to offer them something, whatever that is, as much as we can offer, as much as we can do safely, we want to make that happen.
The OSAA does have fall schedules posted on its website, but will continue following state guidelines to determine if those games can be played.
Up in Washington, the WIAA has already pushed back fall sports by 2 weeks. That could be extended when leadership meets before the end of the month. Nice work from Art Edwards. All right, we've got more ahead. Let's go inside the NBA bubble for a minute. How about this? Dame celebrating his 30th birthday. His big B-Day wish coming up.
He's going to win in Texas. Austin Dillon gets the win.
We've got NASCAR. Austin Dillon gets his first win of the season, claiming the top spot at the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. They actually had fans in the stands at Texas Motor Speedway. No official attendance, but it was estimated to be about 20,000 or so at a track that can host up to 180,000 fans. And that is your Toyota Sunday Sizzle. All right, it's time to go back to the NBA bubble. I'm telling you, players and people who are in there are giving us lots of entertaining content. So let's start with the Blazers' Damian Lillard. Happy belated birthday to the man. His 30th birthday was on Wednesday. CJ McCollum even decorated the presidential suite for him. During his birthday party in the bubble, he said he only had one wish. Let's not waste our time out here. Woo. All right, I know players are missing out on lots of stuff being stuck in the bubble, but getting a fresh cut will not be one of them. The Nets' Thiago Splitter shared this pic on Twitter. Yeah, that's a barber shop. And if Google Translate is accurate, Splitter said, they built that thing in a day. Okay, now you gotta see this one. Upon arrival, everyone has to quarantine in their rooms. Can't leave for anything or you gotta do it all over again. Well, Beaverton's own Ben Golliver, who is now a national NBA writer for the Washington Post, refuses to miss a workout. He's burning calories one step at a time in his hotel room. I can confirm Golliver has made it out of the room and is reporting on hoops. Man, I have no excuses now for me not working out. Still ahead, we put on our kilts. I'm being serious. Okay, well, I'm kidding. Why this baseball team put them on this week. That's coming up. All right, before we go, let's check out some unique fashion on the diamond. Yes, that is a baseball team, and yes, they are wearing kilts. The Savannah Bananas. I love the name, by the way. Top 5 sports team names, period. Well, they wore kilts during a game this week. It's actually the team's annual tradition for St. Patrick's Day. But since they couldn't do it then, they did it now. And they won the game. The best part, I think, in all of this is that they are actually undefeated when they wear those kilts. It's time to put those kilts into steady rotation for the Savannah Bananas. Amazing name. And thank you guys so much for joining us on this show this evening. Shout out to producer Craig Edwards stepping in, director Lindsay. I appreciate you. Thank you everyone for joining us. We leave you with our Plays of the Week.
On and out. Bikes feeds it in. Diener to win it. God, he's done it again! Travis Diener, the Golden Eagles are the champions of TBT. Instead of Louis Binks. For Kyoto again, that's going to work. He picks it up on Gonzalez. He goes 5 hole